Can you see me? On the screen of whatever device it is you're using. Can you see me? Am I here? Or am I there? Or am I both? Am I both here and there? Yeah, that's probably the explanation that makes the most sense. That I, at this moment, exist in two places. So, I'm going to work on the assumption that you can see me, which is good, because sometimes people can't see me, because sometimes I'm invisible. I think it may well be my superpower, invisibility. Which sounds great, doesn't it? I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to sneak into all the places you could if you were invisible? Or get out of things you wanted to get out of just by disappearing. I mean, Harry Potter could do it, couldn't he? In one of the books. He had a cloak of invisibility. He used it to escape from something, didn't he? Can't quite remember what he was escaping from, but something bad, I would imagine. So, anyway, if invisibility is good enough for Harry Potter, then surely it should be good enough for me, this superpower of mine. Unfortunately, my superpower works a little differently to Harry's. See, my superpower, my invisibility, is not under my control. Sometimes I exist. I know I exist. I want to exist. I want to be seen, but no one can see me. I'm an actor. I go up for roles. I go to castings. And when these occasions, these events, are the vastly indifferent gods that govern your existence, the first prayer you must offer up is one that beseeches, although none of us outwardly admit this, beseeches, please let me be seen. And most of the time, you're not. You're not seen. You don't exist. What was that film with Bruce Willis and the kid that whispers, I see dead people? Sometimes I feel like that kid when I wander the streets. Only what I'd be whispering up to Mr. Willis is, I see uncast actors. And they're just walking around amongst regular people, completely oblivious to the fact that they don't really exist. And most of the time, I'm one of them. And that's how I feel. Unseen. Yeah, guess that must be the general state for most actors most of the time. But, original soul that I am, my state of invisibility has its own particular parameters. I'm going to ask you to look at my face. Maybe a little bit closer. Around the eyes. Something there, isn't there? Something different. Well, genetically, I am a quarter Chinese. You can see it now, right? Now that I've said something. Around the eyes. Now, being a quarter Chinese, I have discovered, is not the most useful amount of Chinese to be. And don't get me wrong, I am proud of my heritage. And thankfully, casting is getting more aware of being more diverse. And that's a good thing. But being a quarter Chinese is not going to get you a role where they're looking for someone who looks Chinese. And being a quarter Chinese is probably not going to get you a role where they're looking for someone who looks more English. You know, the whole Keira Knightley thing. Obviously, I realise this might make me sound a bit insecure and paranoid. And I know it might make me sound like I'm making excuses. And to be honest, I don't really know where I stand on that. Insecurity is definitely an actor thing. Paranoia, if it is that, well, that might just be me. And making excuses, finding something to blame. Well, don't we all do that sometimes? I think what I'm trying to explain is my experience of involuntary invisibility. Yeah, that might be a more nuanced way of describing my superpower. Involuntary invisibility. So let's just leave it at this. Sometimes, over the years, I feel my ethnicity has made me invisible. And now, I've only gone and done something that has compounded my problem. I'm pregnant. I'm with child, and it is a joy. Honestly, nausea aside, worry aside, the times I lie awake at night thinking, what on earth made me think I could do this aside, it is a joy. But the thing is, as I've grown, as I've gotten physically bigger, the more I've disappeared, the less of me there seems to be. I mean, no one sees you for roles when you are pregnant. Your existence as an actor is no longer acknowledged. Maybe that's understandable. Maybe when you become pregnant, you cast yourself in a role that implies a certain exclusivity. Oh, no, I'm appearing in pregnancy at the moment. Can't really take on another part. Maybe you've got your own production going on. One that demands quite a lot because it is method. You have to be it all day, all night, even when you're sleeping. But it is odd. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And disappearing more and more and more. Very strange. Behind it all, I guess, there is this other fear for me. And this has nothing to do with being an actor. It's to do with being a first-time mother. Yes, it is my debut. How did I get the part? Well, I'm afraid I did have to sleep with someone. But this other fear is this. Oh, I don't even know if I should be saying this out loud. When I do have my baby, will I exist at all? Or will I just become someone's mother? Will the creation of this new self, loved and longed for though this new self is, lead to the inevitable demise of the self that I have known, have been for years? I might even reach the point where I look in the mirror and I can't see myself at all. Will I become invisible to myself? I don't know. Something to look forward to, I suppose. The discovery of my non-existence. That's a hard kind of continent to land on and plant a flag and claim. Not quite sure I'm ready to do that yet. Maybe this is a good point to wind up on my thesis of invisibility. Oh, but I can't really let the subject go without a nod to the great invisibility that lies in wait for all actresses. Oh yes, the old capacious cloak of invisibility that gets thrown over all of us, whether we want it to or not. Age. Because as an actress, unfortunately, as you get older, all too often that is all anyone sees. Your age. And that is one right bastard of a situation to have to deal with. So, to sum up on this whole invisibility thing, let me just put it like this. And JK, if you're watching, you got it completely wrong. In reality, invisibility doesn't work by throwing a cloak over someone that makes them, their whole body, their whole being disappear. It works by making one part of that person so visible that the rest of them can no longer be seen at all. It might be ethnicity or lack of ethnicity, or sexuality, or age, or the fact that they're pregnant, or the fact that they're a mother. And if all you see when you look at me is just that one part of me, then take a bow. You will have made me invisible. And that's the secret of invisibility. Okay, I better go now. I'll see you around.